pick in a nice, don't grip the pick too hard. Just firm, but not so much to cut the circulation off. I can show you a couple of exercises that might help you. And another thing, while I'm thinking of it, don't have big strokes. Make the strokes small. Economy is the thing in picking. You don't want a lot of motion. Now, some exercises. You can take scales, and I would suggest that you play the scale or a pattern, anything you want. First of all, play it all down, and so forth. Then play it all up. Then play it up and down. That was down and up. Then play it up and down. Now you've got every possible way to pick. Down, all up, down. Then you vary your patterns with leaving a string between, like playing from the 6th string to the 4th string, the 4th string to the 2nd string, and so forth. And the fun thing is you can make up your own phrases or your own licks to practice by. And as far as talking about practicing, let me just say one thing. When you practice, if you're going to practice reading or picking or whatever, do that first. Because if you pick up the guitar and start to play some blues and jam and freak out, you'll never get to the other things. Never. So you want to do the things that are maybe even distasteful to you. Do them first, then get to the fun part. And you'll make a lot of progress that way. Let's talk about background. It's very important to learn how to play backgrounds for your fellow players. That includes, as I played background for Ray Brown earlier in this video cassette, the same type of backgrounds I played for him basically would be the same I'd play for a piano player or a saxophone player or a trumpet player or a trombone player or perhaps another guitar player. One type of background that's really overlooked these days is playing rhythm. A lot of players don't have any idea how to play rhythm. First of all, many guitarists play it too loud. If you're playing it on electric guitar, don't have much volume on. Keep the volume very low, and keep the chords that you play very simple and sparse. I usually play 3 notes in these chords on 3 strings, sometimes on 2 strings. Rarely do I play 4 strings, never 5, and never ever 6 in playing rhythm, unless I'm playing a ballad and I want a lush background, but that's different. For now, so I will show you what I played behind Ray Brown earlier, rhythm-wise. This is basically what it is. Now let me show you the type of chord forms that I use to play that rhythm background. They're basically 3-note chords, sometimes 2. For instance, if I was playing a G7th, it would be this, or this. Or I might play this, has no 7th in it, but you don't need it. You don't need the 7th with the solos, for playing behind the solos. And if I'm playing a 6th chord, a C6, instead of playing, I would play. And then for a diminished chord, I would play not this or not this. Just 3 notes. So the notes would look, the chord formations would look. Now, that's the type of rhythm backgrounds I would play. And you make the stroke, you make it long. In other words, you don't play short, you don't play, you play. Similar to that. Now another thing that I do is I comp, similar to a piano player, behind other people who are playing solos. By the way, if you learn to play good backgrounds on the guitar, you'll work a lot more than if you just play great solos and no backgrounds. Because unless it's your group, people will want you to play behind them. And they love it when you play great solos. But let's face it, they don't care as long as they're playing great solos. But when they play, they want you to play well behind them. So that's very important. Now let's take approximately the same tempo, and I'll show you how I would comp. Sometimes it's 2 notes, sometimes 3, sometimes 4. Key of G blues. 1, 2, blues in G. By the way, that was on the second blues progression we played, the one that went to the E7th and to the